Imagine you woke up this morning, and before you even opened your eyes, you've already signed away your entire day to a ghost. You don't realize it, but the moment you regain consciousness, your brain begins a routine scan of your reality. It looks for your problems, your debts, your failed relationships, and your stresses. These problems are tied to specific memories, and those memories are hardwired to specific people, places, and times. Your brain is essentially an old tape recorder, and every morning, it hits play on the same cassette. If your brain is a physical record of the past, then the second you start your day thinking about your problems, you are already living in the past. But it's deeper than just a thought. Each of those memories carries an emotional charge. When you remember that person who made you angry or that debt that makes you anxious, your body begins to feel those emotions in the present moment. Suddenly you feel unhappy, sad, or frustrated. This cycle creates your state of being. If you repeat this state of being for 2 days, people call it a bad day. If it lasts a week, it's a bad mood. If you keep it up for years, it becomes your character. You become the angry person, or the stressed person. Without realizing it, your past is now dictating your future destiny. Most people believe they are in control of their lives, but let's look at the data. Think about your morning routine. You wake up and immediately reach for your cell phone. You check your Instagram, your WhatsApp, your emails, and the news. Within 5 minutes, you have successfully reconnected yourself to everything known in your life. You've reminded yourself who you are in relation to the world. Then comes the physical routine. You get out of bed on the same side, go to the bathroom, use your favorite coffee mug, take the same shower, and drive to work using the same route. You see the same people who push the same emotional buttons. By the time the day is done, you hurry home to do it all over again tomorrow. This routine is a computer program. By the time we reach age 35, 95% of who we are is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, and unconscious habits. We have lost our free will to a program. You might say with your 5% conscious mind, "I want to be wealthy," or "I want to be healthy." But your body is being run by that 95% subconscious powerhouse. It's like putting an average guy in a weightlifting competition against an Olympic powerlifter. The 5% conscious mind doesn't stand a chance because the body is pulling in the opposite direction. This is the psychological wall most people hit. Your body is actually your unconscious mind. It doesn't know the difference between an actual experience and an emotion you've created through thought alone. When you recall a negative event, you produce the same toxic chemistry in your body as if the event were happening right now. You are sending the same emotional signals to your cells. Over time, your body becomes addicted to these familiar emotional states. It was once the servant of the mind, but now it has become the master. When you finally decide to change, when you decide to step into the unknown, to start a new business or change your mindset, your body revolts. It would rather feel guilt, suffering, or lack because those feelings are predictable. The unknown is a terrifying place for a body conditioned to the past. Think of it like stepping into a deep, rushing river. Your body knows that if you make it to the other side, the old you has to die. To prevent this, your body uses every tool it has to stop you. The moment you sit down to focus or meditate, your body starts sending signals. Your nose is itchy, you forgot to check that email, you have a backache. It's trying to lure you back to your old, predictable life. If you want to change your life, you have to get beyond the analytical mind. The analytical mind is the gatekeeper that separates the 5% conscious mind from the 95% subconscious program. This is why most people wait for a crisis, a trauma, a bankruptcy, or a diagnosis to finally change. They wait for the pain to become so unbearable that they are forced to break their routine. But why wait for the world to break you? You can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. The bridge to this change is meditation. Through meditation, you learn to slow your brain waves down. When you slow them down properly, you enter the operating system, where you can actually make fundamental changes. You stop being a particle, matter, and start becoming a wave, energy. In this state, you can begin to choose a new outcome from the infinite potential of the quantum field. According to the quantum model of reality, thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body. If you want to communicate with your subconscious, you have to use both. Simply thinking, "I am rich," while feeling, "I am broke," is a mixed signal. It's like a room where the internet router is on, but your phone's Wi-Fi is turned off. You aren't connected to the signal. To download a new future, you have to teach your body emotionally what the future will feel like before the experience happens. You don't wait for the success to feel successful. You don't wait for the wealth to feel abundant. The moment you start feeling abundant and worthy in your body, you are literally generating the wealth in your reality. You are becoming the creator of your future rather than the victim of your past. Most people are victims of their own thoughts. They think 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of those thoughts are exactly the same as the day before. If your thoughts create your destiny, and your thoughts never change, then your life is destined to stay exactly the same. The same choices lead to the same behaviors, which create the same experiences and produce the same emotions. If you want to create a new life, you have to think of your mind as a garden. You cannot simply walk out into a field of thorns, throw a few seeds of positive thinking on top, and expect a harvest of success. It doesn't work that way. First, you have to do the dirty work. You have to get down on your knees and pull out the weeds. You have to dig up the heavy rocks that have been sitting there for years, hardening the soil. In your life, those weeds are the toxic emotions you've been nursing, the resentment toward a former partner, the anxiety about your bank account, the deep-seated belief that you aren't the kind of person who wins. These are the plants from the past year that must be uprooted before anything new can grow. This is exactly what the process of meditation is for. Most people think meditation is about emptying the mind, but the word actually means to become familiar with. When you sit in that silence, you are becoming a scientist of your own internal world. You are observing the way you think, the way you act, and the way you feel. By becoming familiar with the old self, you gain the power to stop letting it influence you. You are clearing the land so that you can finally plant the seeds of the person you intend to become. Let's be real. Training your body to sit still and meditate is one of the hardest things you will ever do. It is exactly like trying to train a wild animal or a stubborn dog. You tell the dog to sit and stay, and for 3 seconds it listens. But then it sees a squirrel. It runs away. You have to go get it, bring it back, and tell it to sit again. 2 minutes later, it's gone again. Your body is that dog. The moment you sit down to change your life, your body starts looking at the clock. It says, "Hey, it's 8 a.m. Usually, right now, we're checking emails and getting stressed out. We're off schedule. What are you doing sitting here doing nothing?" For years, you and your body have been angry together, worried together, and miserable together at the exact same time every day. Your body is addicted to that predictable chemical state. It doesn't care if the state is toxic or if it's keeping you broke. It only cares that it knows what to expect. When you sit there and refuse to get up, your body starts sending distress signals. It makes your nose itch. It reminds you of a crucial task you forgot. It drags up a humiliating memory from 20 years ago just to get an emotional rise out of you. This is the moment of truth. Every time you become aware of what your body is doing and you bring your attention back to the present moment, you are making a massive power move. You are telling the body, "You are no longer the mind. I am the mind." Every time you do this, your will becomes greater than the program. Eventually, the body, just like a trained dog, will surrender and obey. When that surrender finally happens, something incredible takes place. There is a liberation of energy. Think about how much energy you spend every day maintaining your problems. You have to remember who you're mad at, what you're afraid of, and why you're limited. That takes a massive amount of biological fuel. When you break those emotional chains through meditation, that energy is suddenly freed up. You go from being a particle, a physical thing trapped in a physical world of limitations, to being a wave of pure energy. You are no longer defined by your past. You are defined by the infinite potential of the future. This is the state where you become a creator. Once you are in this deep, meditative state, you can start designing your life from the ground up. You don't just think about what you want, you rehearse it. You ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What behaviors am I going to demonstrate? How will I carry myself? The beauty of the human brain is that when you are truly present, it cannot tell the difference between a real-life experience and an experience you are imagining with high emotional intensity. By mentally rehearsing your future, you are literally installing the neurological software for that future today. You are turning your brain from a dusty record of what has been into a high-definition map of where you are going. Here is the hardest part of the entire process. You have to teach your body emotionally what your future will feel like before it actually happens. Most people say, "I'll feel successful when I have the money," or "I'll feel loved when I find the partner." That is the old model of cause and effect. In the quantum model, you must feel the success now to attract the wealth. You must feel the love now to attract the relationship. If thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of the body. If you are thinking, "I am wealthy," but your body feels, "I am lacking," you are sending a mixed signal. It's like having a high-speed internet modem in your house, but you've turned off the Wi-Fi on your phone. The signal is there, but you aren't connected. The moment you start feeling the emotions of your future, gratitude, abundance, freedom, you turn your Wi-Fi on. You start downloading your future life. You don't need to wait for wealth to feel abundant. The feeling of abundance is what generates the wealth. This is the shift from being a victim to being a creator. A victim says, "I am this way because of that person or that experience." A creator says, "My thoughts and feelings are the cause of my reality." On average, you think 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. If 90% of those are the same as yesterday, your life will never change because the same thoughts lead to the same choices, the same behaviors, and the same outcomes. But if you commit to this process for just 7 days, you will start to see a physical difference. You will start catching yourself. You'll be in the middle of an old, angry thought and suddenly realize, "Wait, this isn't me anymore." You'll avoid the trap of the old, unhappy self. You have to repeat this process until the unknown becomes familiar. You have to keep at it until your future reality becomes your current reality. You aren't just meditating to relax. You are meditating to dismantle the old you and build a version of yourself that is worthy of the life you've always wanted. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. And just because you have an emotion doesn't mean you have to live in it. The door to your new life is in the unknown, and you now have the key to walk through it. If you're ready to stop being a victim of your past and start becoming the creator of your destiny, type "I am the mind" in the comments below. It's a small signal to your subconscious that the program is no longer in charge. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're diving deep into the mechanics of wealth and mindset every week to help you move from particle to wave. Now go out there and start weeding your garden. We'll see you in the next one.